Harry and Meghan won't be able to avoid the temptation to hijack the event for their own self-promoting purposes. So today I'm asking, was it a mistake to invite Harry and Meghan to the Jubilee celebrations? We're joined by Benjamin Loughnane, Research Fellow at the Bow Group, and the political commentator Lynn May, who's been with me throughout the show. Benjamin, we'll start with you. Mistake or not?
Well, I think it shows extraordinary grace of the Queen, and it's very in her character to have invited them in spite of, how they bad-mouthed her effectively and been actually quite disloyal to her, and tried to steal the spotlight over the past few years, certainly in the wake of Prince Philip's death, as we remember last year. So it shows an extraordinary amount of grace that she's extended that invitation. But the question is, should they have accepted that invitation? And was the invitation really just a token of a gesture of goodwill more than anything? But really, should they come? I don't think so. I think that they shouldn't take the spotlight away from the Queen. It's her day, and they should have one day off being the media starlets.
Lynn May, do you think Harry and Meghan will turn up accompanied by a Netflix camera operator or two?
Yes, they won't miss the opportunity. For them to not come, I think the press will criticise them either way, and I understand why they would, because on one hand you have Meghan, who's like, I don't really like Britain, friends told me not to marry Harry, the media hates me, but then she enjoys the continuous attention.
It's a marketable commodity. It's not about enjoyment, it's about banking it.
Well, and I think the two go hand in hand. But at the end of the day, I think we can all say there's that one dodgy family member that we have to put up with around Christmas dinner. So when it comes to family, I can understand why they've extended that invitation. And we can't expect the Queen and the royal family to just completely cut them off, curtail them from anything. But I don't particularly like the route that they've gone down. I'm not a fan of them, are you?
Well, no, not really. But look, I think it's a lose-lose situation. If the Queen hadn't invited them, that'd be the headline. Now, if they'd been invited and they'd turned down the invitation, we'd all be going, oh, how ungrateful of them to turn it down. There's not really a win in this situation, but then that's because they've made their own bed. Over the past couple of years, with the way that they've behaved, the reason people respond to them in this way is because we expect them to be up to no good. The best thing they can do is come and keep their head down and don't try and steal the spotlight, don't try and steal the headlines, let it be the Queen's Day and then go back to America.
That's the only thing that annoys me. It is going to overshadow a brilliant time for the royal family. And
no, it's not. We mustn't use this word.
Do you not
overshadow.
think?
It's not going to overshadow. It's not going to overshadow.
Look at the headlines.
Great piece, Benjamin, by Tina Brown in the Sunday Times magazine, in which she said, this is the former editor of Tatler, New Yorker, Vanity Fair, knows what she's talking about, or, some interesting ideas, and says that the long-term, the strategy from the palace has to be to try and pull these couple of desperados closer.
Yeah.
On the one hand, they are using up their ammunition. There's only so many disclosures they make, and every time you let them into the fold, you give them a bit more ammunition. But long-term, they need to be brought back into the bosom of the family.
Yeah, it's the old thing of, united we stand, divided we fall. It's going to be bad for them and for the royal family if there's no unity, especially once the Queen dies, because she's holding a lot of this together. The moment that she's gone and it's down to Charles and William and so on and so forth, that sort of disunity in the family is going to become a lot more to the surface. And I think when you have William as king, certainly that will be a huge problem if Harry's over in America and there's that huge discord between the two sides.
Lynn, there's a possibility that there is no reconciliation, and actually then we just end up with these twin poles. We end up with the British royal family exemplifying all the things it's always exemplified, and some people won't like that. They'll find it archaic. And then you'll have the Sussexes who will exemplify a certain Californian mindset. And there'll be some people who won't like that. But the people who like it more will be in America, and the people who dislike California will be here in the UK, and never the twain will meet.
Well, in order to have that unity that you're talking about, I'm disappointed in Harry. I think it is his job to assert some of his masculinity and say, do you know what? There have been problems that I'm not happy about with the family. We've got it off our chest. Let's move forward. Because if there is huge disdain for your family, you would essentially cut them off. If they've really cut you that deep, you're going to cut them off. You have no intention to. He misses the Queen. He said that before. They keep on coming back. So create that unity. Harry needs to lead the way in his family and, quite frankly, put Meghan in her place.
This is somebody